everyone, this is Darren Benton again with Performance Motorcoaches out in Texas. We finally got some good sunshine today. Got the birds chirping in the background, definitely springtime here. No dust, no dirt today, and very little wind. So pretty excited to get these units out and kind of highlight, kind of the intention of this video is to kind of highlight the Valencia, the Verona, and the Verona LE and talk about some of the differences between each one of those particular units, talk about some similarities and obviously the differences. So we'll just kind of jump right in. So right now we're staring at this is a Royal paint scheme on a Valencia 35 MB mid bath. This is the first Royal that I have done. Pretty impressed with the blue colors on it. All of the Valencias will have the bunk over cab. You can kind of see here. It's a little bit different bunk over than what you would see on the Verona next door, and then the LE a little bit further down, no bunk over whatsoever, only aero cap. So basically on the Valencia, it only comes in a bunk over. Once you move down to the regular Verona, you can get the aero cap or the bunk over as it's shown there. Once you get to the LE, it will only be the aero cap. So generally families work a little bit better in the Valencia and the regular Veronas because of the option of the bunk over there. Been really common, a really popular option. They've only been offering that bunk over in the Verona for about the last 6-8 months. In fact, everything we have on order in the Verona line will have that bunk over. Pretty aerodynamic look, a little bit more aerodynamic than the Valencia. Happy with the look there, and definitely happy with the function. So we'll go ahead and roll into the chassis themselves. So on the Valencia, they're all built on the Freightliner S2 RV, and basically that is a M2 chassis, a Freightliner M2 chassis that's specifically built for the RV industry. So they do some key things for the RV industry. They crank the horsepower up to 360 horsepower, 800 foot-pounds of torque, and they do the fuel tank rearward to the axle. So you'll have a 100-gallon tank rearward to the axle. The engine is that 6.7 liter Cummins. It's basically known as the ISB. They're still built on the same cab. The hood's a little bit different as far as height. Once you move into the Verona and the Verona LE, those are built on a Freightliner M2, but a little bit larger motor. That's the Cummins ISL. It's an 8.9 liter Cummins. That for 2022 will be 360 horse. Right now we're 350 horse in the 21s. As far as torque, 1150 torque. 3000 series transmissions all the way down the product line. And you can see kind of the easiest way to determine what the chassis is, in my opinion. If you'll see the gap between the fender well here, a little bit higher gap once you get further down. Also, you see the little strip. I'll run down here. See the little strip underneath the headlight there, and the idea being with a larger motor, taller motor, you have to have a taller hood as well. So you see the little bit like subtle differences between the two. Inside you'll see some differences as well as far as the step over going from your conversion into the actual cab of the truck. They will all have a 55-degree wheel cut, so as far as Super Cs go, motorhomes go, it's going to be it's going to mimic the diesel pusher in that when you turn those wheels left or right, they basically slap almost all the way left or right. So they're very maneuverable. Say compared to the larger chassis, this video is not about that classic down there, but that Peterbilt does not have a very tight turning radius to it. So for first timers, I definitely think that the Verona and the Valencia and even the Verona LE are a very good option because of the wheel cut. Easy to maneuver those things in and out of tight spots. So we'll talk about some other features here. As far as awnings go, same awning on the Valencia and the regular Verona. Once you move up to the Verona LE, they'll have the rooftop awnings, and so essentially you can catch that profile down there, and they do a fake can on the driver's side just to kind of tie everything in. So I've always been a big fan of that. I tell people when you drive down the highway and you watch that thing drive down the highway, you don't see all the air conditioners and all the busy stuff up on top, and that's kind of the idea. Just more of a sleeker look, more of a higher end look. Now, as far as floor plans, this 35 MB, and right next door we have the 36 VSB. Very, very similar floor plan in that essentially they are a mid-bath and pretty close to the same size. The kitchen will vary a little bit, and so you'll see a lot of those similarities between each product line. Basically 2 slides on the Valencia or the Verona. Once you move up to the Verona LE, they'll have opposing slides in the living room and then the bedroom slide as well. So just subtle differences. As far as baggage doors, basically the same baggage doors all the way across the line. As far as heating systems, you'll have propane water heater and a propane forced air furnace on the Valencias. Once you move into the Verona, they'll go up to the aqua hot system. Once you move up to the Verona LE, that will have a little bit more advanced aqua hot system. That'll be tied to the engine. So just kind of as you spend more dollars, you'll get more options all the way across the line. Additional, you can kind of tell a little bit difference in the paint schemes, a little bit higher end paint schemes once you get down to the Verona LE. Now, as far as some of the furnishings inside, they'll all have hardwood maple. As you go up through the line, a little bit nicer features inside. They'll have staple drawers on the Valencia and the Verona. Once you move up to the Verona LE, they'll have all dovetail drawers. All the way across the product line, they will have all soft close drawer glides. So definitely a higher end feel, even jumping down to the Valencia. We'll go ahead and roll into flooring. As far as flooring goes, in the Valencia, that'll be basically a sheet vinyl floor. Move into the Verona, you'll go into basically a laminate type floor that'll have individual slats. So if you ruined a portion of the floor, you can replace that. Jumping into the Verona LE, those units will have all tile floor there. So definitely, unique differences between each one of them. Very, very, cost point pieces that direct the cost, upwards as you go through the product line. One last thing, and then we'll do a light pause and we'll get inside. We'll kind of go through them unit to unit. We'll open up all the slides. If you'll notice the LE down at the very end, they do a fender flare there to kind of cover up this opening here. Just kind of a little bit nicer feel, in my opinion. So you can see all the way in this fender well here, versus going over to the LE, they put that fender flare there. Just kind of give it a little bit higher end look, not so truckish with that. But as far as the step covers, very, very similar step covers all the way through and through. The headlights all the way down the product line will be LED headlights. Great headlight, I can tell you, from somebody that drove a Chevrolet pickup forever, these headlights are 10 times better than a stock Chevrolet pickup truck. So definitely happy with those. So we'll go ahead and pause now and we'll get inside. Okay, I wanted to highlight a few features before we got inside. We'll walk down each one of those. Standard across the board will be outdoor entertainment. There is a radio in that guy as well. I'll open up that. Basically a little outdoor entertainment. As you go up the product line, you'll jump from the Signia TVs to the Samsung, but that's standard all the way across the board. Like I mentioned before, all the baggage doors, higher end baggage doors, dual latch. Inverters will be located on the upper portion of all of the baggage compartments. They'll all be Magnum 3000 series hybrid inverters all the way across the product line. So we'll go ahead and jump inside real quick. So a few different decor groups in the Valencia. All of the stain will be this particular color right here on the Valencia line. Once we move up to the Verona, we'll show you a few little differences. This being the mid-bath, basically, there's actually a split bath right back behind. They have chosen to kind of swap these guys right here, have the dinette up ahead and the couch right there. So just very few little things here and there. You'll notice the vinyl floor. One thing that I noticed, they're doing the vinyl floor inside the slide. That's something that people have been asking for quite some time, and it's been difficult to get some manufacturers to realize that. So happy with the elimination of the carpet inside the slide out. Of course, this edge right here will be carpeted all the way across the product line, but definitely happy with the small little additions like that. Basically, anywhere you sleep, you'll see 110 and USB connections to charge your phone. This guy right here slides back and forth and will pin into place. But you know, even for people that don't have kids, it's a great area to be able to store things. You could take the ladder and some of the mattresses out, be able to put some totes, you know, get some organization in there. Small little cabinets and a TV back inside there. Residential refrigerator all the way across the board. They've eliminated the propane package in the Verona in the Verona line. So basically, residential refrigerator, propane heat, and all these guys all the way across the board. With all the cabinetry, even though they're staple drawer construction, nice drawer glides, plenty of storage all the way across. Even back in here, even though you take a little bit of room for your hot water heater, they have additional shelf there to be able to come back and store things back underneath the kitchen sink there. Solid surface countertops all the way across the product line. Some will be single basin, some will be dual basin. As far as the operations system, all the way across the board will be, should have caught it back there, the Firefly, but we'll kind of talk more about the Firefly. And basically, the operating system is easy to use. You can run the coach off of the pad, or you can operate it off of an app on your phone. So you can run your slides. You can do basically anything inside the coach, outside the coach on your phone. Washer dryer in here. It's a little tight, but they have a really, really nice mechanism there to slide that back, so that way whenever you get in here, you know, you have a little bit of room to be able to toss your laundry back on the bed, separate your laundry and such. Split bath configuration here, so if someone's showering or using the bathroom, you don't have to worry about, you know, you can still be able to access the master, be able to get through here. My camera person doesn't like the mirror back there, so we'll kind of cut this short. 15,000 BTU air conditioners all the way across the board. They're Coleman Mach series. As far as generator, all the way across the board will be 8,000 watt Onan diesel generator. So a lot of similarities as far as you know, what makes that nice as far as like a service standpoint, because so many service centers have parts for those particular, you know, air conditioners, replacement air conditioners. They have parts for the generators as well. So we'll go ahead and jump on out here. I'll come around the back side. Because it is a little bit smaller chassis, the standard hitch on the Valencia will be 12,000. You know, you'll read forums, the guys will upgrade the hitch, but I really think 12,000 is about the max limit for the Valencia line. That's my opinion, but you know, of course, people can do whatever they want. 12,000 pound hitch there. We'll move up to the 20 on the Verona and the Verona LE. All the product line will have a fiberglass rear cap that is actually a two-piece cap. So the idea is if you backed into a trailer, popped a hole in that fiberglass, you can replace just this lower portion without having to replace the entire cap. Most people that do some damage to them will just end up, you know, they'll back into something and have damage low. And just one extra thing that really makes Renegade unique, makes it a more serviceable product as well. Wet bays up front, generator back behind. If anybody's heard me once, they've heard me hundreds of times about the care and attention that goes into the wet bay. Everything is water jetted in. You don't have to worry about stickers falling off. It's a very, very easy to use wet bay system as far as filling your tank, as far as flushing your black and whatnot. So kind of no-brainer there. And a whole house water filter system as well. So I'll go over next door to the 36 VSB, probably without a doubt my favorite coach out of the market. I feel that the Verona line is kind of gives you the most bang for the buck. It's not a particularly pricey product, so I think it has the best resale out on the market. But for those people that wanting tile floors, wanting some more options and amenities, you know, you definitely have to jump up to the LE. But this is kind of my favorite product. Good for families with that laminate floor. It's gonna be pretty tough as far as dogs, kids, and whatnot. We'll go ahead and come inside, take a look around. One thing you'll notice differently on this fiberglass cap here is the that little window up at the very front. So, you know, for people that have RV'd as a kid, this was a big deal back in the, you know, late 70s and 80s. Just had basically a little bit different style window, but of course most kids will be strapped in at this day and age. But, you know, I know there are plenty of us as kids peering out that front window driving down the interstate in RVs that were put together with nuts and bolts, and we hoping for the very best. But definitely a cool addition. You can take, and this automatic shade right here, you can do that a few different places. Definitely in the Texas heat, imagine that guy's gonna be closed most of the time. There is enough clearance in there to be able to put some like reflective material. On 110 degrees, I can't imagine having that open. I can't imagine that being a great idea once it comes 110 degrees. So you'll see a little bit different hump here because the cab's a little bit taller. Flooring is still a really nice flooring. This stain is the same all the way across the board in all the Verona product. A little bit more advanced furniture. This is kind of my favorite configuration right here. So it's not true theater seating. Because you can lay down, but they will flip out. Open this guy up right here. They'll flip out right there. There are seat belts in there. There are seat belts in the forward-facing portion of the dinette as well. Solid surface cabinets all the way across the board. Lots of storage. Place for a trash can. Just simple things. A little bit nicer residential appliances here. You'll see some variances because shortages of appliances, but definitely a little bit higher end than the Valencia line. I like this right here. My preference is individuals like this, so you don't have to pull the entire thing out. You don't have to worry about adding so much weight to that one piece pull-out pantry. Samsung refrigerator, that's kind of my general go-to. 17.5, they call it 18 cubic foot Samsung refrigerator. Easy to get parts for, easy to deal with. Pocket door that isolates this. Similar type mechanism you saw next door on the Valencia. Split bath here. 150 gallons of fresh water below the bed. There again, my camera person doesn't like the mirror back behind, so we'll go next door here in just a second. All the way across the line, the product line will be a self-evacuating toilets, a little bit higher end once you jump up to the Verona LE. But just nice appointment of everything. Lots of storage back. In fact, I'll do this to kind of block that off to a certain degree. I don't know how much of this you can catch, but lots of storage there. And this pops out, so I guess if you had a like a laundry basket or whatever, you could basically use it as a laundry chute. All the beds will lift up. And the water tanks are below, so easy to service everything there. So we'll jump through and we'll go next door. Try to get the plug in on the water, kids. By the way, all these units right here are sold, with the exception of that Valencia right up front. So this one got a little dirty the other day. We had like a little spit shower, but it's still relatively clean, but some of the dirt on it. Just a little bit higher end. Like I said, this, the fender flare, the paint, the dual slides, the rooftop awnings just kind of finishes out what we call the V-line product, you know, Valencia, Verona LE. Mid-entry right here. Does have outdoor TV. And move up to a Samsung from the Insignia, but plenty of storage. This will move over to the 3/4 pass-throughs where there's the axle right here. Give you some nice extra storage. Outdoor shower there. Like the idea of the outdoor shower. Not a fan of this little plastic guy right here. I wish they'd come up with something just a little bit nicer for this product. Once you move into this, they will have automatic locks for everything. So basically, you can lock your baggage doors and your entry from this guy right here, or a key fob. And there is a key fob for the cab as well. So just there again, you know, kind of think of it as a higher end product. You'll also see the solid surface entry right here. A little bit easier to keep clean and wipe down. The backlit right there. So you come inside here, and it, to me, a completely different feel being the opposing slides. Just it really opens it up a lot more. Not that there's a bad aspect with having a single slide. One thing that people don't think about is once you have dual slides, these come inward, and the coach definitely feels a little bit tighter driving up and down the road. Just kind of really a matter of preference, but all these coaches are very usable driving up and down the road. You can get to your mid bath. You can open up your refrigerator. You can basically use the coach driving up and down the road. So all the way across the product line, they don't build them where things completely close up and you can't access and you can't get to things. So this is the honey maple, a little bit lighter color right here. Kind of just brightens it up a little bit. Pull out pantry. Just kind of everybody has their own particular preference. This is non-adjustable right here, but that could be changed up after the fact. A little bit nicer backsplash here. Like I said, tile floors. A fair amount of storage all the way across. Large TV there, and there's storage back behind the TV as well. The TV is on a swing arm, will come out, flip around. As far as the cab, the exact same cab as next door, exact same drivetrain. All of the Veronas and the Verona LEs will, including the even the S2RV, basically has adaptive cruise. We'll have tire pressure monitoring and crash mitigation. We'll try to do a video. We'll probably do a video of that little Valencia here later on as well. But it's kind of a little bit different feel here. Lots of storage right here. More Class A-esque. So, if you come over here and then plop down, you don't have to worry about hitting your head. But even on the bunk covers, Renegade has done a pretty darn good job at making them really accessible inside. Let's come back here. Convertible dinettes all the way across the board. Theater seats here that do flip out. There again, a little bit higher end product as you come up. The one thing that is, some of the units will have some USB plugs there. There is one there, but I do like whenever you do some USB plugs inside the theater seats. A little bit more ornate trim, backlit. It's tough to see during the day, but these are backlit as well. These are spaced out, but really cool trim features in the LE. Oddly enough, I would say the trim features in the LE will even be higher end than the Classic. Let's come back here, half bath. Basically, this is a bath and a half. So, generally bath and a halves are very, very common. It comes at the expense of opposing seating, so that's kind of what you give up in the LE line to go to the bath and a half. You give up the opposing seating, but plenty of storage in here. Pocket door right there. Pocket door to isolate this. Same type, nicer mechanism to be able to fold that door back just a little bit. Very similar to the Verona closet area right here. All this is convertible in that you can take and pull that guy out. Entertainment, 150 gallons of water below, and yet we have another mirror. So let me open up the mirror. Get my camera person back in here. I will take and plop down on the toilet. So the idea is here, you could kind of use this for nicer linens. Take and roll them up and put them there. You could do some kind of divider. So just made it where you have to contend with doors, making it more difficult to be able to get in here. But still, I'm a 200-pound guy, 6 foot tall, so I don't have any problems getting in here. Plenty of room all the way through and through. I'll go ahead and jump in the shower. These showers are fiberglass. They do not offer a solid surface shower in any of the Verona, the Valencia, the Verona, or the Verona LE. Little magnet right there. Still plenty of room to be able to shower. That having the removable shower head, basically, kind of the idea is you can conserve water a little bit, get your water to the areas you need it a little bit quicker. So come through here. Let's find our Firefly pad and just do a light little brush up on it. So home screen right here, basically what you would kind of consider, the main things you need to be operating on this. So you want to know your fresh water, your gray water, your black water, be able to turn your water pump on, be able to activate tank heaters, turn your generator on, check your house and your chassis battery. So very just a light little smattering of what is in the entire system on the home screen. Then you can break down into individual lights, interior, exterior, and everything dims as well. So basically, if you go to, we'll go to front lights, and we'll go to living ceiling. I'm going to hold those, and I don't know if you can catch that, but everything will dim. So basically, any of those, you basically can go on and off and be able to dim any of the lights throughout the entire coach. Move over to electric. This will tell you basically what your transfer switch is doing. It will also let you know your voltage on each line coming inside the coach itself. You can activate your auto generator start. Auto generator start is great for either low voltage, so it will start your generator on low voltage. It will start your generator on air conditioner demand as well. So pretty handy, especially this time of year whenever it might be 55 in the morning but 80 in the afternoon. So you can come back to a coach that's not 80 plus degrees. So we'll go through temperature control for your front and rear air conditioners. Also, you can activate your aqua hot systems. You can activate your heat pumps inside. And there also is a bay control. Super nice, cold weather, to be able to control your bay temperature, your wet bay inside. So activate your in-motion satellite, some of the fans, run all your slides and your awning from this guy right here. The nice thing is, if your chassis started, you can still run your awnings and slides inward, not outward. So it kind of makes it kid-proof, but I like that, to be able to start up my engine and be able to kind of pull my jacks up, pull my slides in while the engine warms up. And the last screen is basically any kind of diagnostics. So if you're having issues, if you need to get together with Renegade, if you need to get together with Firefly for any updates, that's the coach number, and that's actually the coach floor plan. There'll be some coach numbers and revisions there. So it's pretty easy to operate everything there. Great company to deal with. I've been dealing with Firefly for quite some time, so happy to have that. Like I said, everything you have there you can do on the app as well. So I think that pretty much kind of covers all the way through the product line. We appreciate you guys coming here and watching the video. I know these things get pretty lengthy. We appreciate you guys always coming out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe.